Hi, I'm Sharon Rooney.
I'm Ken Collard.
And welcome to the Sara O'Connell Show.
Welcome to the Sara O'Connell Show.
Welcome to the Sara O'Connell Show.
Sharon Rooney, welcome to the Sara O'Connell Show. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to the party.
Yeah, we are in Munty today, aren't we?
Welcome. Do you like it?
Love it. So there's drinks and...
No, there's not normally free drinks, but tonight we've made an exception.
For anyone that hasn't seen Zapped so far, and you really should have, it's a very good show. What kind of show is it and what is it about?
So Zapped is a comedy show basically telling the story of a man called Brian Weaver who gets zapped into a parallel universe, which is Munty, and his quest to get home. So that's like the basis of Zapped, but it's so much more complicated than just that. You really have to watch it to get a gist of it.
Yeah, watch the show actually, that's a good idea.
Watch it.
We could just recreate the entire thing previously on Zapped.
Yeah, we could.
But we won't.
We won't because it will spoil it, but just watch the show. Just watch it.
So you play a soothsayer called Barbara. Tell us about your character.
So Barbara is a rubbish soothsayer. She's not very good at her job, but she's got a real drive and a real heart for it. But when she does see things, people don't always believe her until it's too late, which is a bit of a shame. And she's also madly in love with Brian.
She very much is. Now, were you, before you started filming the show, were you given any kind of backstory for Barbara, or did you invent your own perhaps?
Well, when I auditioned for Barbara, I was on another job and I had to do the lines in a trailer, and I only had 15 minutes, and the wonderful Carl Davis read in with me, and I just kind of found this weird funny voice that just became Barbara, and Dave and the writers let me keep that funny little voice, and that's how she was born in a trailer. I was doing brief encounters and I had all my wedding hair in, so I had like loads of flowers in my hair, which I think helped get me Barbara, because they were like, she's went to a lot of effort to dress like that. That was just a spirit, don't worry.
It's going to be fine.
It's fine.
So, would you say that Barbara's a master of the magical arts, or do you think she sometimes makes the future up a little bit to suit her goals?
That is an interesting one. I think at times she twists the truth a little bit, but then other times she gets things so right, but people just don't believe her, which is rude actually, because she is quite good at her soothsaying.
Because she sometimes sort of gets things right, but she misinterprets the thing that she's seen. Like when she saw an army once, there was an army of snails, she didn't quite understand that.
Yeah, that was one of Barbara's errors. There has been more, there will be more, but you know, she's trying. She's trying.
She's very trying.
She is quite trying on a lot of people's patience, but you know.
Have you ever had your palm read or read your tea leaves or anything like that?
Well, I'm really into anything supernatural or anything like a little bit. I did have my palm read once by a man who told me that I had 3 brothers and I would have 4 sets of twins. I'm an only child and so far have no children, so I'm guessing he was a bit of a Barbara.
There might be a lot of adoptions going on. It could still happen.
Maybe. I still don't think I'll get any siblings though. I think my mum and dad are kind of done with having babies. There'd be a 30-year age gap. It would be interesting. I haven't done Modern Family though, so you know.
It's going to happen, then you'll be like, they were right.
I know, that's what I think. Like maybe when I'm like older I'll go, I now have 3 brothers and 4 sets of twins. Oh, he was right all along. You never know. Never know.
Tried warning you.
And I didn't listen. A lot like Barbara. Oh, yeah, it must happen quite a lot to people who can do what Barbara does.
Does. Now, there's a fantastic cast, of course, in Zapped. What's James Buckley like to work with?
Awful. Very trying, very rude, aggressive, some would say. So yeah.
Sounds like a complete nightmare.
Absolute nightmare.
To keep him off the streets as much as possible.
That's why he's not at the party. I made sure he wasn't invited.
Has he got an ASBO or something? Can't he leave after 6?
No, he's not allowed within like 5 feet of me.
Must make filming really difficult though sometimes.
No, I'm just kidding. No, James is like all the boys, great to work with. It's like having 4 big brothers who annoy me. Oh my god, yeah! Oh, maybe that's what he meant. Weird. No, James is a dream to work with. He's great, and we're always having fun on set. There's never a day if someone's having a down day, you just pick them back up, and it's great to work with the boys. Sometimes it can be hard being the only girl, but not on Zapped. It's not. I actually like being the only girl because I feel really protected.
Absolutely. Now, what do you think would happen if Barbara was zapped into the real world? How would she cope? What would she do?
I think Barbara would discover drive-through fast food. I think she'd love that. I also think Barbara would love like big shops like the big Primark and all that. I think she'd love it. And I also think that she would end up on Brighton Pier with her own stall. I think she would enjoy that and fast food.
I'd love to watch that spin-off episode.
Me too, I'd love to film it.
Exactly.
So much fun. Yeah, I think she'd like that. And like carnivals, I think she would love that.
You should take her there.
I keep asking them, but they won't let me.
It's outrageous. I'll have a word.
There's a lot of rudeness that goes on in Munty, you know.
There's also a lot of popcorn everywhere, which I'm really loving.
So much popcorn. There's an episode in the new series called Popcorn, and it is such a good episode. It's so funny. It's really funny.
I look forward to watching it. Now, if you could be zapped into any other television world, where would you like to go?
That's a good question. I would like to be zapped into Call the Midwife, purely because I'd love to play a pregnant lady in that time and have Linda Bassett deliver a baby. I'd love that. I think that'd be amazing. And I'd also like to be zapped into like American Horror Story. It's just one of the seasons. Maybe Murder House. I'd like to be like an old ghost who died in the house and have like long flowing hair and flowing dresses.
Be fun.
I actually thought about this quite a lot, you know.
I
really have.
Well, I hope that one doesn't happen for you.
Oh, I'd love to be a ghost.
You haven't been to Brighton yet.
Oh yeah, okay, I'll go to Brighton and then I'll get zapped to be a ghost. Yeah, you're right.
Do more zapped and then...
Yeah, you're right, yeah.
That's like a long-term plan, isn't it?
That's like the 15-year plan. End up as a good ghost.
It's retirement home, then...
Good ghost, yeah. Yeah.
Now, there's been 3 series of Zapped so far. Have you got any favourite scenes that you're involved in filming?
That is a good question. Some of them I can't tell you because it'd be a big spoiler. But there's a scene in the last episode of the new series.
Yeah, tell me that.
Which was epic to film. Like it felt like we were in a massive film. It was so cool. So that's my favourite scene that we've shot.
Well, very intriguing, and the production values on the show are they're really up there. I think I like it. Fantastic sets.
We're so lucky. Like the art department that we have are incredible. Like look what they've done. They've brought Zapped to Central London. They're incredible. Every department, it feels like we work with like the best of the best, and it's just such a special show to be a part of because it's all the same people that have been there from the beginning. So it is like a big family.
Yeah, they're incredible. Just 10 minutes ago, this was a bus stop.
And now it's Munty. Magic.
It's magical. In series 2, Barbara temporarily becomes a blacksmith, and in another episode she has a magic spell put on her and gets a massive tongue. Are you glad that there were only temporary things and not stuff you had to work through going forwards?
I'm very glad that I don't work with Jones the Anvil anymore because Ben made me laugh constantly and I got into quite a bit of trouble. So that's good. The massive tongue was horrific. It was awful. It was. I mean, we can all guess what it was made of, and it was very similar to other things that we all know what I'm saying. So it was grim. But Barbara gets herself into plenty more scrapes this year. Oh, she never learns. Never learned.
What is she like? Now in series 2, Barbara meets Chestnut, the fairy, and there's the sparks of romance. Do you think that will last? Are they well suited? What's the gossip?
Well, Chestnut isn't here this year.
Oh.
I think Barbara might have scared him away. He's having a break from Monty, and I think it might be partly Barbara's fault. I think she might have just scared him off.
Where is Zapped filmed, and how long does it take to film an episode typically?
So this year we filmed at Wimbledon Studios. We normally film at Pinewood, but we filmed at Wimbledon this year, and it usually takes about a week per episode. Normally it's about a week, depending on how much we laugh. Sometimes it can be more than a week, it just depends, but normally a week.
So of course, Zapped Series 3 is coming to us this week. Very exciting. Wednesday, 10 o'clock on Dave. What can people expect from the show? Why should they be tuning in?
Well, if it's not enough to tell you that there's a circus in it, I'm in it, the boys are in it, and Steve Coogan is in the opening episode. Yeah, so what are you going to be doing if you're not watching Zapped?
Steve Coogan is both very scary and very funny in the episode.
He's so good in it, so don't miss it. Don't miss it.
Can you tell us a bit about what you're working on next? I know you're going to be in 2019's Dumbo, the Disney live action. What's that going to be like? What can you tell us?
Nothing. I'm not allowed to talk about it.
Has it got elephants in it?
How did you know that?
Just guessing.
Psychic.
You're just going to list every animal, but that was the first one I went to.
Well, it does actually have an elephant in it. It does. Spoiler, I'll probably get into trouble, but it does have an elephant in it.
Because otherwise people would be saying they ruined everyone's childhoods if it didn't have an elephant in it.
That is a fair point.
Just a mouse jumping off a trapeze with a hat and a feather.
Yep.
Giving away a huge moment to the film, I'm sure. Finally, have you got any messages for people watching the Sara O'Connell show and your fans around the world today?
I would just say well done for tuning into this show. You are a smart cookie. Make sure you tune into Zapped. And final message, always be kind to yourself. Whoever you are, wherever you are, just be kind to yourself.
That's a very good message. Well, thank you so much for your time today. It's been an absolute delight talking to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ken Collard, welcome to the Sara O'Connell show. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you, very good.
Now, we are here to celebrate the launch of Zapped Series 3. Are you excited about that?
I am, yeah, outside the jug and the other jug. Recreated here in the West End. Faithfully-ish.
There's torture devices and everything. Really old food. It's incredible.
Yeah. No Homer's fish pie, though.
They said there'd be fish pie. I'm devastated.
Well, maybe there will be.
For anyone that hasn't seen the show before, what is it about?
It's about a guy that gets transported into a parallel universe, which is a bit like this one, but post-Brexit, with no deal. Some describe it as maybe being inside Nigel Farage's head. No, so it's an alternate sort of reality, but it's a bit strange, and he's surrounded by strange people, and he makes 4 friends, of which I play one of them, Stegson.
Tell me a bit about your character.
So I play Stegson. He's half giant, half dwarf. Father used a stepladder, apparently, so I'm told. He's like a revolutionary, a human revolutionary. Any kind of cause that he can find, he will try and champion and pursue, normally quite terribly. He is also constantly on the lookout for love. And actually, Series 3, I think you'll see in one episode, actually, it turns out quite successful for the first time ever.
That's fantastic. So there's some character development going on. Were you, before you got the role, were you given any kind of backstory for the character, or did you invent your own?
I invented the own. When I read the script, I don't know, it's kind of like a dream part when I read it, and I kind of said, yeah, I had some ideas which I then kind of presented to the guys, and obviously they liked because I ended up doing it. But it's great. I based it originally on in my head, and then kind of do my own version of it on Citizen Smith. Remember Wolfie? Because he's that kind of character. But then I kind of I tried to add that kind of bit of You know, somebody that always kind of looks on the negative side of stuff, that's always kind of like, yeah, but, and kind of add that element, and then just play with it. And Dave, the director, beautiful man, just allows you then to kind of have fun with it, and then, you know, go in different directions with it. It's brilliant.
Now there's been 3 series, have you got any favourite scenes that you shot so far?
Yeah, there's one episode actually, which Dave very kindly sent me all the episodes so I could have a look. There's one episode which I love, which is bizarre really, because it's so contained, but I love it because I think it's the 4 main characters together in a very odd situation, and it's like Dog Day Afternoon. I don't know if you ever, some of you would maybe have seen the film. It's a kind of Dog Day Afternoon, and it just kind of pushes them to the limit. And I particularly love that. There's also one where they're in the Monty Baths, and that was great fun to do as well.
In series 2 you accidentally set a pear on fire which caused an inferno. Was that safe to film?
Yeah, that was the pear fair one, wasn't it? Yeah, no, that was brilliant. Yeah.
And how long does it take to sort of get into character, going through the costume department and all that kind of thing?
Yeah, on this one it took hours, absolutely hours, because I didn't have a beard, so I had a tash. I was shooting something else for 7 weeks before, so I which I had to be clean shaven for, but I managed to negotiate a mustache with them. So I had going into Zapped, I had a mustache but not a beard, so we had one made from the brilliant lady who makes beards up in North London, and so it would be about 45 minutes to an hour in the chair every morning, just trying to get ready get the beard on and then get the hair extensions on for the famous mullet, which I love. I used to have a mullet in the 80s and probably early 90s, so it's so lovely to be able to find an excuse to have a mullet again. So would love it again.
That's one reason to keep coming back to the show, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
For the mullet.
Yeah. In one episode you've got a son, Steg Jr.
Yeah. Oh, that.
Think he'll come back?
Well, he grew up because they grow up in. I don't know. Their growing up period is very fast. So he grew up in. Well, in the space of an episode, so that's probably like 2 days, and then he went off and did. Yeah, he was a bit weird when he grew up. He was very cute when he was young, but then quite odd when he grew up. So he's flown the nest. So sadly not. He was an adopted son anyway, but it gave him a taste of fatherhood, which is wonderful. Yeah.
Now, if your character were to be zapped into the real world, which causes do you think you'd fight for?
It's brilliant, isn't it? So episode 1 of the new series, you see Hal in the world causing absolute havoc, which is fantastic. It's a great way to start the series, and it's one you'll love. Do watch if you can. What would Steg do, and what causes would he fight? One would be Brexit, but he would he would end up with a no deal. And we'd be eating spam again, like we did in the old days. Nothing wrong with spam, but
it's good to have it by choice.
Yes, rather than that's a staple meal. That's all we had.
The worst kind of email.
Yes, yeah. It's funny the email is called spam, isn't it? Yeah. Do you reckon that's anything to do with the spam?
I don't know, because in Hawaii spam's really popular, isn't it? Like they eat it like it's a national. Yeah.
But is that like the British spam, which is basically ham and what was the SP?
No.
Anyway, if you find out, let us know.
I will. Yeah, we'll do a follow-up just about the spam.
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? Yeah.
Now, there's been some amazing special guests in the show as well over the 3 series. Which have been your favourite to work with?
Well, it was lovely to work with Mark Heap, Divian and Izzy on. There's one, actually episode 6 I think, where we do dragon spotting, and it's great because I know all 3 of them. I know their work sort of over the years, and it was just brilliant to get an opportunity to work with. The same as with Mr. Coogan, who came back. He was in episode 1 in the first series. And to come back on episode 1 of the 3rd series, but again to be able to work with him is just brilliant. You know, because you you grow up with them and you admire your work and you learn, and you get inspired, and then suddenly you have an opportunity to work with them. You know, and it was a joy to work with all of them.
I think Steve is a producer on the show. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think he's the exec on it. Yeah, one of the execs. Yeah, I mean he, as I understand, loves it and champions it, which is great.
It's fantastic. Now, of course, Series 3 starts on Wednesday at 10 o'clock on Dave. Why should people be tuning in? What can they expect?
What can they expect? Actually, when I saw the first episode, I was so excited. It kind of, I feel from the first and second series, it's gone up a level. It takes two worlds and absolutely collides them in a brutal, funny, joyous way. And it's probably the best half hour you will ever spend on a Wednesday night on a school night, I'm sure.
Provided you're not watching my show.
After your show. If you're not watching your show, then definitely watch Zapped, Series 3, Episode 1, Wednesday, 17th, 10 p.m. on Dave.
It's very true. Now, can you tell us about other things you're working on? Of course, you've been in Cuckoo with Greg Davis. What is Greg like to work with?
Yeah, I kind of love him, you know. Yeah, I really... he's somebody where you can quite easily be in his company and feel so at ease and just kind of sit there and just be. And we shot Series 4 and Series 5. So Series 4's been out, Series 5 will be out next year. So it's good to be able to spend 13 weeks together with that team. And they're beautiful. Similar to this, actually, because I think what's great about Zapped is that we get on so well. And with the cast of Cuckoo, I mean, we go out as well. We go out on events or we go elsewhere together. They're just a beautiful bunch of people. And Greg Davies, yeah, I love him. Such a nice man. And so good, so funny. I mean, he's so funny. Have you seen him run? I mean, that's so funny. He's just got to run.
He's multi-talented.
He is.
Now, finally, have you got any messages for people watching the Sara O'Connell show and your fans?
Yeah, you're doing the right thing. Keep doing it. She's wonderful. Really.
Thank you very much for your time today. Thank you for everybody watching at home. Be sure to share, subscribe, give the video a big thumbs up, and I'll see you all again soon for another episode of the Sara O'Connell Show. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you. Good night.